Hello guys and welcome to episode 5 of my Songs of Syx playthrough series. So, we're coming back and we're starting off from where we left off, obviously, with 300 people. At our max immigration, as I said, I've set it to auto to 300. But you can see here that there isn't actually any demand for, or it's not demand, there isn't actually an interest in migrants moving to our lovely little place so far. That's probably because we haven't got enough services. If we have a look in here. We can also see though that food days does affect migration as well. So the less food days you have, not just how much food you give them, but actually like their knowledge of how much food you have affects how many migrants want to join you. So we do want to stock up on more food. We can see we have a nice amount of meat, nice amount of bread. Now bread's gone down below our threshold. You see that line there. We will actually start buying in more bread. But look at the amount of money we've got. I mean, so much there. 64,000 coins. And that's with me starting to import in lots of tools. We've got 120 tools here. Obviously, this is all stuff that we covered in last episode, but I wanted to familiarise myself since I haven't played in a few days. So, we've got the apple orchard up there, the fruit orchard up there. We've got 61 leftover jobs, even with, look at all these little people working here, doing hard research. Hard at work with their research. And we've got 2.9k in research. So, I want to spend some of that. And I want to specialise, as I've said, so I don't want to go into stuff like baking bread. So I can save a lot of research points by avoiding all the refining stuff here, by avoiding crafting stuff. We're not making our own tools or our own pottery, so I can avoid all of that. And so really, I can focus myself in on health. That's obviously a service, but it also provides us with the ability to heal people who are ill. I can also then start getting in more services up here, like the graveyard burial, which is a very cheap one, so I'll buy that in right now. And bathhouse, that's quite expensive though, so I'm not going to get that one just yet. We've then got stuff like the like tourism, which is one of the new updates. Well, not new updates, but I've never actually played with tourism. I've never actually got this tech that far. But tourism, I assume people just visit your place and then they pay for goods and services and give you the money, or maybe they just pay an upfront fee. I don't know. But look at some of this other stuff. I do want to get this. It's only 250. We get a 10% bonus to our all rock pastures. So 250 research. That is really good. Actually, I'll get just one more. 325. There we go. So that's a 20% bonus to the amount of meat, livestock, and leather we produce. Remember, we export a lot of that. Looking here, these are now going to cost 500 each. Or I could just pay 750 for the one. So I'm going to pay 750 for the one, because that's apples and grain all in one. But if I go for the next one of 1200, that's a little bit too much research points for me right now. When I can buy cheaper stuff in, that would be more effective, such as the physician. Physician bought. Here's what other stuff I can get. You can get paved roads instead of dirt roads. So you got people tired of the muddy roads. Devoted. What does that say actually? Devoted dirt roads lining the city. Invest in stone paved streets for the future. So paved roads have less maintenance upkeep, more satisfaction, and a higher level of movement speed. From looking at that, actually, it's only 250, but paved roads are obviously going to use cut stone. So, or maybe they'll just use normal stone, I don't know, but they're going to be pretty expensive to make. So, I need to have a think of whether I want to get that just yet. I think that's maybe more of a late game ones, but that better movement speed and less unhappiness from using the mud roads will be a welcome bonus. But I'm going to do that one for now. I want to focus on continuing to grow my settlement, as usual, because we need more food, so I want more fruit workers, because you see fruit here we're running low. To do want more fruit workers. I could also get some more pasture workers down here where we've got nice bits of open, unfertile land, but it's a little bit far away from my houses. Saying that with the houses, we've only got 2 vacancies left. So I don't want to, you know, build anything too far down here yet, because actually I need houses for all these jobs up here. So saying that, I am actually getting some houses built. While we've got some labourers sitting around not doing very much, we can get civics, housing, houses, and then get them, as I discovered in the previous episode, get the nice big ones here. Just flip that so the doors are next to the road. And there we go. That is 60 more houses. All the labourers going to be working on that. That's brilliant. And also, because I'm saving on not having all these refining jobs, I'm actually saving on a lot of space as well, which means all our farming and all that industry all around the outskirts can all be supported by these houses, which having all your housing in one area means they can all be covered by the one services, or one type of service, so that's really, really good. I think, yeah, so for growing my settlement, obviously I need to get, if we come back to services, I obviously need to get some more lavatories, because you can see here, proximity is running a little low, same with stages. But I think the biggest thing at my current position is the food. I want to give another, come back here, I want to give another food ration, and I want to up the amount of food days, and that should hopefully bring in a lot more people. And then also fulfilling some of the furniture demands here will be another one. Clothing is also another one, where we don't actually buy in any clothing. Clothing's quite expensive. 84 coins each is really, really expensive. But your people do have a clothing demand. I'm thinking I do make some clothing. I know I said I wouldn't produce a lot of stuff, but actually I think clothing is one where I just want to produce a little bit. Because actually 84 coins is really, really expensive. Like, too expensive to buy in. Or actually, no, let me double check. I can't speak. Right, let's have a look at leather. I think I checked this in the last episode, but leather, 60 coins. Well, actually, no, I talked about this with clothing, didn't I, actually? With clothing, if we look here, crafting and tailor, it's 3 leather. We sell leather for 60 coins each, so it's actually, no, it's way cheaper to sell the leather and buy the clothing in. So I'm wrong. I will continue to sell the leather. But on that mark, then, I will get some more pastures down. So actually, let's do that now, because I do want a lot of leather to sell, so I can buy in some clothes, because clothes give you a nice bonus. And I think they also help with winter. I'm not sure if it's just halves and houses that help with winter, but I know some people die from the temperature loss, so I'm not sure if the clothing actually helps solve that. It would make sense if it does. Okay, there we go. So I've linked up all my pastures with roads, and I've also placed down 2 massive pastures there. So that is a lot more jobs and a lot more export potential there. With these houses being built here, that should hopefully be housing close enough. But then I might need to get some housing on this side with some services as well to support this pasture, and then export all the fruit and grain that we'd make from this lake here, which I assume has massive fertility. We look here, yeah, really, really good fertility here. So actually, that's actually what I want to do now. I'm going to start to expand in this area, because this is a nice big lake. That's going to be a huge amount of farming there. And then we've also got space for, well, actually no, the pastures here will be taken up by the farmland. That's what I'm going to do. So, actually no, before I do that, if I just double check. Yeah, we have actually got all the useful life out of this area. So yeah, I'm going to expand into this area now. Okay, one thing I completely forgot to do earlier in a few episodes ago is actually get a military set up. And because one thing I've actually realised here is, you see this raid chance is massively increasing. We're now at 22% chance of getting raided, which is terrible. If we get raided, especially if we have no military, that is us over. So I want to get a nice big training centre here. We can see here we've got the problems with the support. So what I'm going to do is place little columns, and how I'm placing those columns is by simply shrinking the room. So you're just removing where you would have floor, turning it into a column. I'm going to get my training dummies set up here. I'm not sure this is actually a good utilization of space, but if I come to this one, get any, I can get some more down here. So this is going to be a lot of training dummies. Ooh, just getting the most space out of them. There we go. This is going to be a lot of training dummies, which you can see here it's 59 capacity. So training troops up, you have different levels. So you can either have troops trained to the lowest level, which means they'll come in here, active people will come in here and take up your job. So you'd maybe lose, let's say, 20 people, and they'll work here, and then they'll be trained to level 1. As soon as they're trained to level 1, they then go back to their normal job. And if you set your army, let's say 100 people at level 1, this building will be active until all your people hit level 1, and then boss you don't need any more. Or you can set maybe level 5 trained troops, or level 3. It goes like 1 to 5. And if you have level 5, they obviously need to train for longer. So those people will almost be like professional soldiers who are constantly in here training. So this has 59 capacity. I'll see if I can squeeze any more out of this. But with 59 capacity, or 60 capacity now. Ooh, can we just get a little bit more here? A little bit more anyway. I think that really is all of it squeezed out of it now. So with 62 capacity, and I'm going to get a door on either side down here. That means that we can have 62 troops training at once. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have 62 troops. I could have 500 troops at level 1, 62 troops at level 5, whatever. But now that gives us plenty of opportunity to actually train up an army. And you don't need to give your men weapons, I don't believe. Because if we look at the military section, we can see here you have how many weapons you give them. Sorry, how much mana training, how many weapons, how much armor, and how many bows. So I could have my guys at level 5, but then not bother to give them any weapons until maybe we're about to get raided and have buying loads of weapons. So I just want to have this place race here, and also that then means that we have our job is used up, because the worst thing would be to be raided and then you have no troops trained. You actually already are at 0 odd jobbers, and you actually then have to take away from jobs that you depend on. So getting this done early is really, really useful. As I said previously, when I need furniture, I then decrease this, and that means all the furniture we've produced will go to stocking up our furniture here. But it is annoying because we now obviously have none in stock, so it's going to take us forever to get this building constructed. But at least now we're actually getting a bit of furniture in. Also, the research. I know it's a little bit early to do this, but I am going to get the improved laboratory. But again, it's a little bit inefficient to do it when you've only got such a small laboratory, but it's something I just want to have done. So I think it's what? Depends on the size. I need 56 iron here, and that means we can then get this upgraded. So if we have a look, special order, go for exactly 56, so I don't have any wasted. Okay. And then we're actually at 70,000 coins there, about. So we've got absolutely tons of money. And even though we've been buying in all these tools, and actually, you can see there, we're almost fully utilizing all our tools. We just need a little bit more tools, and then all our places will be producing way more. So we've clearly been buying in lots and lots of tools, and we're still making a profit, which just shows that our export focus on all this agricultural area is going really, really well. And actually, yeah, we've got both these pastures up now. I'm going to tell them to stop selling the livestock here. I'll tell them just to set it to nothing for now, because actually we don't have any animals in any of these places. We can see here 17 workers is enough for all of them. I'm going to set these down to... Well, I'm actually going to set them to auto-employ. That way that the game will just decide for me. So that way workers aren't just being wasted here. We can see now the harvest has come in. We haven't changed any of the services, but as the harvest, the food has gone up. We can see there's loads of happy people. And I was thinking about to increase the food rations, but again, I don't want to get any more people in just yet. We don't need any more jobs. What I need done is get furniture made, and that's just happening quite slowly. So I think while we have got some odd jobbers spare, what I'm going to do then is develop my area over here. So agriculture, farms. And I want to get a fruit orchard, but you can't really get the fruit orchard right on the coast very easily. Oh no, I can, sorry, because you can build into it, can't you? So, oh, actually no, this is actually quite deep water. So I'll just stick to my normal fruit farms for the moment. Getting something like this. Nice big one here. 138, 139 fruit, and that will do for now. So we'll get that one in. Then I want to get an actual fruit orchard, but actually the fertility around here is good on this side, but up here it's actually really, really bad at 46. So this area isn't as good as I thought, but getting around this whole river should be good. So to enact one of the servers I got recently, I'm going to go to civics, I believe, religion, and graveyard. Because currently we don't even have a mass grave, so everyone who dies is just dropped dead on the floor where they die, which is quite concerning. So if we get a grave, oh, it's quite a big one actually. I'll shrink it a little bit. We don't need a mega sized one. So get that, and we can then get these graves down, and this is going to provide happiness for when people die. They're buried somewhere respectful, somewhere which looks quite pleasant. So we'll get this down. What we need to do though is can't just get graves. We can see we've got 15 graves. You can't build too many, because what you need to do is get the trees, flowers, and pathways as well. So if you get too many graves, you then don't have enough space for them. So here we go. We've got some here. Trees, I'm going to dot around. See here, that's giving us 12 respect. Flowers, I'll dot around as well, just next to the trees. And then all the rest will be pathway, which is all just stone. So this is something we can afford quite early on, quite nicely, because we have plenty of stone and plenty of wood we're only getting their 51 respect. So, I'm thinking maybe do we get rid of some of the graves to get more respect? Because obviously if you decrease the graves, the respect actually goes up anyway. So I think I'll get maybe some more trees here, and then flowers here. 70% respect. Yeah, I think that's more doable. And then 23 graves. I'm happy with that. We'll get that built. Shouldn't take too long. We've got all the stone needed, all the wood. That should be built quite soon. Right, I actually was thinking I wouldn't accept these immigrants just yet, but I am going to say I'm going to go up to 400 immigrants because we have increased our food. Even though we haven't increased the amount of food we're getting, because we've got 20% extra from our Auroch pastures and 20% extra from our farms, we will just generate more food, so we can support these citizens. We should also be importing in bread. I've upped the import level from 20% to 30% because for some reason they're just not importing bread quick at all, and it's really annoying. So I need to up it so they buy in more at once. In fact, actually, I'm going to set it to maintain 50%, or 60%, just so we can buy in a little more. Well, actually, that's a little bit too much. That's 1,000 at once. So we'll buy in 900 at once. There we go. So we actually got a few more odd jobbers now. So once we've got this fruit farm done over here, which I'm going to support with some houses, some civics, housing, and I'm going to make long houses here. So long houses here is 68 residents compared to of the same size. If you compare same size, we can't get it exactly the same, but we can see this is 36. It was actually only 6 more residents. Not that many more actually. I was expecting for it to be such a bigger building, it'd be more, but no, it isn't actually. So I'm going to stick to the houses. I think houses is fine. And then I'm going to place them just outside the farm so these people can wake up and go straight to work. How lovely. So we'll get that built there. We'll get some more just built right opposite. So that is then 60 more people working out all these pastures, working on these farms, who are right next to where they can stay for work. But then I need to get all of the services set up here. You see, our graveyard has actually been set up, and we've got 2 graves already filled. So that's used for them, at least covering that basis. And we've got our dead bodies going somewhere respectful. They're just being left on the streets to rot, which is a little bit disrespectful. Anything else we can build? We've got civics. We've got the physician. And the physician is just tools and cutstone with a bit of furniture. So I'm gonna get the physician right next to the graveyard. I think that's brilliant. If the surgery goes wrong, well, we'll just dump them straight in the graveyard. So we've got that there. We've got a little bit of a problem with support here. So 10 to 4, get the column there, and then I can get my door for entry just there. So the physician needs shelves to improve the quality, and workbench actually increases the amount of people you can service at once. So I want to get some. I can't actually get very good placement here. That's annoying. Yeah, the placement is a little bit annoying. And that's as many people as we can get, but that is still 3 positions covering 12 people, so it's not terrible. Yeah, I think that really is all we can get. But then because we've got loads of free space, oh, actually we don't have free space. That is the problem. So I can't actually even get anything here. So I can get 100%. Can I, if I shrink it and go 1, can we get more coverage? And that's the exact same as I had before, but that will do. We've got 2 positions with 8 services and 100% quality. That will need some tools, some cutstone, and some furniture. What I'm going to also do is, because cutstone deteriorates at 10% per year. No, I was about to say I'm going to get an auto buy order to cover that, but cutstone is 10% per year, whereas normal stone is only 1%. So I was going to say if it's only 1%, I can actually buy the cutstone in automatically, so it always has it for the buildings, but that is not efficient when it's going to just keep deteriorating on me. So I'll buy in, I think it's 56 or something like that. We'll buy in 56 here, that's enough. You can see here, even with that boulder just gone through, we're at 80k now. So we are doing really good with all this exports we've got. We've got loads of grain to export, 1.3k. But also, fruit. I'm going to export fruit. Not much though. I'm going to export... I'm going to export 60%. So when we're above 1,000, I'll export... No, I'll export only 30%. I don't want to export all our fruit. But fruit does deteriorate quite quickly at 80% per year. So I don't want to, you know, just have it sitting in mass in my stock rooms. Otherwise, we'll find that it will just deteriorate with no usage. Down here, brilliant. We've got all our houses made. We've got our fruit farm made. I am ready to set up this area. And I think actually I want more fruit. Instead of selling the fruit, why not actually just use it to get more fruit? So we can get some more fruit farms made over here. I don't want to go too far north with this one because quality there just isn't that good. But I can at least go into these lighter spots here. That can cover a nice amount of ground. So there we go. That's one more fruit farm there. I'll just go up a little bit more there. 80% fertility, 12 workers. We'll get that made. Got 47 labourers now, actually. Brilliant. And then I think grain isn't worth it compared to fruit. 5 coin per grain, 16 coin per fruit. So got to continue just to get the fruit, and we can also eat the fruit if we absolutely need to. Whereas the grain is purely for exports. So fruit is a much better option. Let's get that here. I'm going to save this spot for our fruit orchards instead of just the fruit farms. That's 77% here. That's one more farm. Ah, so we actually are missing a little bit where it's not connected. Where is that happening then? Right. I'll sort this out in just a second. Okay, there we go. I found that little spot where it was disconnected. So we've got that. And, oh, why have we suddenly gone down to -14? What have we built new that's... You don't have enough workers. I'm really confused. Oh, it would be the training ground. I'm about to say, why the hell have we got suddenly -14 workers from, well, 50? But we've got training ground. So if we go to army, I've got 4 armies set up. All human, obviously, because we only got humans. And all with no melee training levels. There's actually 4 levels, not 5 levels. But what I'm going to do is set 1 to the full level. So that's 50 people who are always going to be fighting at a very strong level. If we look at that, that is really high skills compared to the rest. But everyone else, I'm not even going to bother training up to any sort of level. Actually, I'm going to say level... I think level 5. I always want these 50 people going. But these ones, so the other 12 training slots we've got, we'll just go to people who are just getting a slight skill. So that is a lot of workers we've lost there, actually. But as we get people in, that will hopefully cover that demand. And all I was doing anyway was using these labourers to build these farms, but we haven't even filled up this farm spot yet. So I don't have a problem with that. We'll let that roll. So now that we are in demand for workers, and we can see here that our raid chance has already gone down by 5%, even just from 7 soldiers. But I'm going to up the amount of food we give, because we're now getting more bread in. We're getting in more fruit, more meat got in stock, and meat goes at 100% per year. So we've actually already lost 26 due to just deteriorating. So I'm going to increase the amount of rations we give. So food rations up to 2, and that should give us a nice boost to immigration, hopefully quite shortly. And look at that loyalty bar. It's gone from about 70% all the way up to 100%. People are really over the moon. I didn't realise that food rations had that much of an effect over increasing growth, but it really seems like that is the case. The more food you give your people, the way more people want to live here. Obviously that makes sense, but I didn't realise it would be at that level of extremity. But yeah, we're growing massively now, and we're about to break even on the amount of labourers we've got. So that means that we can start developing our areas again. And yeah, already 0 people now. So we've got our training ground fully running, and we're developing this eastern lake over here to get more food in. Another thing here is I was looking and I was confused as to why I've only got 36 metal bars when I ordered 56. And it's here, you can see. Here, there it is. No, where is it? That's what it's saying -5, but basically I just looked and it did say it was -20 to maintenance. So that is one thing I forgot about. It's your janitors who maintain your building. Actually, see it here. Janitors who maintain your buildings, they need the same building materials that you use to upgrade the building or to build the building to actually repair it. So we can see here, there's no work in the radius, but we are missing metal parts and cut stone to actually use to maintain buildings that use those things. So I assume the weld, for example, is deteriorating, and that's only got 0%, but we can see that, yeah, they've all actually got 0% for buildings that will need to be upgraded. They didn't do those parts. So that's one thing to always consider when you're buying in more stuff. Is it going to be used up instantly by your janitors anyway? So I actually do need to buy in more metals. I'm going to buy in another 56 because this only has an 8% spore rate per year, so we're not going to lose very much per year. One thing you can do is spend money instantly to upgrade your training ground to get that 50% bonus. It's 154 iron, which is a lot, but iron 77 coins. So if we, let's say, bought in another 100, that's about 8,000. But again, like I said, we're making profit, and also this will make me a profit in the long run because if this place is training people quicker, if we ever need to just quickly raise an army, we've got more chance of training people up. That's number one. But number two is because I've actually set it so I only want to train 50 people at max level, and all the rest are only trained very, very slightly. If we can get through these people quicker, that actually means that then once all the people are trained, they'll go back to their normal job. So we'll actually save up 12 jobs, which then means that the people are working in farming or in labouring, we're getting more development, all very, very good. And on that note about developing, we've now become a mayor, and we can now boost our population not just through immigration, but through new offspring of to civics, health. I mean, not health actually. Where is it? Let me find it. Here it is. Infrastructure, procreation, and we can get human nursery. So they use up fruit, which is why I was saying I wanted to go massively into fruit because that is what the humans use, whereas the Crotonians use vegetables. They use meat, fish, and the Tilapians use fruit as well. So humans use fruit. I'm actually going to get it near my place over here because I want to sort of develop this into my next centre. So having some major fruit farms here, from fruit orchards here, makes sense. I have some, nurseries here where they need the fruit. I don't care about it being mega big, so this is, I think actually I'll get it as big as it does to need support. I think that's the limit. Yeah, there we go. So I will get that, and then we can get some cribs here. There we go. So that is my place done. Actually, I'll just get some more cribs and just sneakily trying to fit some more in where I can. There we go. That's really used up all the space I can. That's 100% with 20 cribs and 6 employees. So that will generate us 20 new people. I don't know what the time frame is in this game, but it's every, I think, maybe year or whatever. So it's just a small increase in your population. Obviously, though, I think immigration is still the way because immigration really just works off of, do you have the current facilities to serve more people? If so, yes, your happiness increases. If your happiness increases, immigrants want to move in. So by breeding your people naturally, over time, they're going to breed no matter what. Which means even if you're struggling with services, new people are going to pop up, which then means that, you might then struggle to even feed your people or provide them with services because you just don't have the current level of services. So it's hit or miss with the breeding, and immigration can happen so quickly when you've got all the right stuff. So that's only why I've gone for a small one, but hey, it's better than nothing. And on that note, guys, I am actually going to end episode 5 there. We have got the new title of mayor. We've got some more houses down. We've got starting to expand eastwards. We've got some research done. We're getting our physician and graveyard down. So we're getting some more higher level, more advanced services. We've also finally started to employ an army, which now, as you can see, the raid chance is down to 16%. And as our people are training more, with an upgraded training facility now, we should hopefully see ourselves with a decent-sized army of about 200 men, 150 being just militia, basically, and 50 being well-trained elite troops. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching episode 5. I really appreciate your time. I will see you in episode 6. Ta-ra.